Yeshua's name was
Welcome back for another episode of Perplexing War. This is part 6 of the study na siyang nililinaw natin hinggil sa mga pangyayari sa World War I at saka sa Civil War hinggil sa tayo ng Seventh-day Adventist sa panahon ng giyera. Now, in this episode, we are going to discuss about the reconciliation between the disfellowship members who became the Seventh-day Adventist Reform Movement with the Mother Church, the Seventh-day Adventist. In this topic, we are going to discuss those points. But before we are going to do that, akin po hinihiling muli si Brother Peter para po sa panalangin.
Dakilang Diyos, sa kaitaasan po ng mga langit, narito po muli kami upang gagawa ng isang pagdidinaw sa mga punto na may kinalaman sa tinatayo ang doktrina ng inyong mga anak sa huling araw. Aming hinihiling ang inyong gabay na tulungan niyo po kami na sa aming paghangarin na linawin ang katotohanan ukol sa nangyari na pag-uusap ng pagkakaisa sa pagitan ng mga reformador at ng Seventh-day Adventist noong araw ay maibigay namin yung tamang kasaysayan at tulungan nyo kami na hindi kami makapagbigay ng mga impormasyon na mali kundi pawang katotohanan lamang po. Pagpatawad nyo ang aming mga pagkukulang at pagpalain ang aming mga tagapakinig at yung mga makikinig pa sa presentation na ito na sana sila po ay magkaroon ng balanse na kaalaman na siyang pagbabatayan ng kanilang pagpapasya. At nawa ay makatulong ang gagawin namin ay ito na paglilinaw upang ang mga nakapakinig ay makapagpasya na papanig sa tamang landas. Ito ang aming dalangin sa pangalan ng aming Panginoong Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Now, history is somewhat like kung minsan merong better, bad, and worse picture.
Tama po yan.
Sad to say, among Adventism, we had the bad experience in the history. But we are not studying this to make a wrong impression upon those hearers na mga tagapakinig at na manunood nito. But we are looking onto history to see what really happens. So, in the time, in God's time, in Jesus' time, He was saying for the unity of His church. He was praying for it. And now, we've seen also during the crisis in 1914, may nangyari din later on, there comes yung tinatawag stress for unity between the two groups. But we need to see 3 points that we are going to discuss. As I said, the first point that we are going to discuss here is sino yung nag-reach out for unity? Was it this SDA Church or the SDARM Church later on? And the second point is what really happens during 1920 by the time na first nagkaroon ng bilateral meeting ang SDA and those who are disfellowship minority. And the third point is ano yung talagang nangyayari sa negotiation during 1922 General Conference kung saan nagpadala ng representative ang disfellowship members ng SDA Church in which became the Seventh-day Adventist Reform Movement. So, let's get started, Brother Peter. What happened? O sino ba yung una talagang nag-reach out ng unity sa panahon ng na-divide ang church into two?
Okay. So, yan po ang isang punto na dapat nating linawin sapagkat sa social media, tayo nagbabasa, no?
Mm-hmm.
May mga Seventh-day Adventist na nagsasabi na ito daw mga reformador.
Mm-hmm.
Tayo, ibig nilang sabihin, ay puro separation ang nasa utak.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sabi nga ni Pastor Tolentino doon sa kanyang video, hindi yung sa Perplexing War, yung sa isang tungkol sa history of Islam,
Mm-hmm.
ano daw, puro
Separation.
daw nasa utak.
Disunion.
At hinahilintulad nga tayo doon sa mga parisyo. Na ang kinuha niya doon na meaning ng Pharisee na isa is separate. Ayan. At sinasabi ng iba na sila daw ang laging nagre-reach out for unity, pero tayo naman ang ayaw. Okay, so yun ang gusto po nating linawin. Ang totoo mga kapatid, hindi naman po tumatanggi ang ISDARM ng unity.
Yes.
Actually, nung nangyari ang ayon sa karanasan ng mga Nudist Fellowship,
Yeah.
yung mga Nudist Fellowship, sila yung sila yung
May desire.
nag-effort na sana sila ay maibalik.
Yeah.
In the first place, nung sila po ay ipagtiwalag, sila ay nagpo-protesta. Huwag niyong gawin yon. Huwag niyo kaming tanggalin. Nagpo-protesta pero hindi pinapakinggan yung kanilang protest. So sila po ay pilit na tiniwalag. Ngayon, nung nagtiwalag sila, nag-organize sila ng kanilang mga ang kanilang local church na separate. Kasi
Hindi naman sila na member doon.
hindi naman na sila member. Ay natiwalag na nga. So, anong gagawin nila? Kung magkawatak-watak lang, hindi sila hindi ba nila magampanan yung kanilang tungkulin bilang Kristiyano? Kasi kung nag-iisa ka lang, hindi mo magagawa yung dapat mong gawin.
Yeah.
In unity, there is strength. So, ang ginawa nila, nag-organize sila, pero hindi na under ng administration ng Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh.
Ngayon, hanggat sa buong Europe, ang dami ng mga local churches na
Na-organize.
scattered, na na-organize. Ito sa grupo ng mga Nudist Fellowship. Ngayon, noong 1915, sila po ay nagkaroon ng tinatawag na general meeting. Kasi nagkakakilala eh.
Yeah.
Nag-meeting sila. And then, nagbuo sila, temporarily, nagbuo sila ng committee to represent them. Pagkatapos, yung committee na yon, nung May 22, 1916,
Yes.
sila po ay gumawa ng isang letter na open letter sa Seventh-day Adventist na sinasabi nila na gusto nila na makipag-reconcile
Yeah.
sa church. Sana kung maaari, ibalik yung kanilang church membership. Sayang din, ang dami naman nila. Okay, so yun po yung kanilang ang nung May 22, yun po yung second na gumawa ang tawag dito. Gumawa ang
This fellowship ng effort.
gumawa yung Seventh-day Adventist ng circular letter.
For the
Kasi dumadami na sila. So naggawa ng sulat, circular letter ang Seventh-day Adventist na pinakalat, winarningan ang mga tao, mag-ingat kayo dito. At tinawag sila na movement of apostasy.
Wow, that's quite a strong word.
Tama yan. Tapos, yung grupo na ito, sila pa ay iniugnay nila doon sa isang tao na kilala na parang false prophet, false teacher, na si Garmier. Ngayon, kasi ipinareho doon. Kaya mag-ingat kayo kasi ang mga tao na ito ay apostasy ang mga tao na ito. So, ang ginawa naman nito, noong June 1916, itong grupo ng mga pioneers ng ISDARM, gumawa sila ng open letter at binigay talaga doon sa mga leaders at saka sa mga may concerned people sa SDA. Humihingi sila ng audience para pag-usapan kung paano sana ito magkakaisa sila. Yan po ang kanilang layunin. Ito po ang kanilang sinabi. Meron silang propose na 3 conditions for unification. Siyempre, basahin natin. Sabi, first condition, the previous relationship between church and state be restored. Okay. Kasi ang ibig sabihin nun, yung relationship kasi dapat separate ang state at saka yung church. Hindi mag-mingle. Yan. And then number 2, no one to be called a traitor of the country or a fanatic because of refusal to render military service on the grounds of consensus conviction. Yan. On the other hand, those who under pressure do military service in the war and that as on the Sabbath would not be condemned either.
Okay, that's
So,
quite a very fair proposition.
Fair proposition. No? Kasi sabi nila, huwag sanang sila na mga ayaw, huwag sana silang tawagin na laging sinasama fanatic, apostasy, ganyan. Huwag naman kayong ganon.
Ganon din yung pumunta sa
On the
gera.
other hand, yun namang pumunta sa gira,
Hindi din kondena.
huwag din ikondena para patas.
Oh.
Ganyan. Kumbaga, crisis na ito, mag-unawaan na lang.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Number 3, persecution, denunciation, and slander to be labored as unchristian. So yung pagpe-persecute at saka pag-denounce at saka yung pag-slander mo sa kapwa, kasi Seventh-day Adventist nag-i-slanderan eh. Sabi nila,
This is unchristian.
unchristian ito. Dapat hindi natin i-tolerate ito. Kung papayag kayo na parang ceasefire, wala nang huwag nyo kaming tawagin na
Bigyan
fanatic, traitor, o ano pa.
Apostasy,
Oo,
movement of apostasy.
hindi rin namin i-demand na kayo ma-disfellowship itong mga mga naglalabag. Mag-unawaan na lang tayo, magkaisa tayo. Yun ang kanilang proposition. Pero unfortunately, ayon sa kasaysayan, inignore talaga ng administration yon. So, ang punto natin dito ay ang mga pioneers ng Seventh-day Adventist Reform Movement, hindi totoo na puro separation ng kanilang nasa isip. Ang totoo, wala silang plano na talagang humiwalay. Wala silang plano na umalis sa Seventh-day Adventist, magbuo ng sariling grupo. Kundi nakapagbuo lang sila ng grupo sapagkat sila sa pilitan na pinagtatanggal. Ayun ang katotohanan. At marami tayong record yan. Pinatunayan natin sa iba nating mga videos.
Yeah.
Ayan. So, na-ignore po yun. Na-ignore yung proposed unification. So, ang conclusion natin dito, sana maalis sa isipan ng mga kapatid natin, mga Seventh-day Adventist, ng reform movement daw ay puro separation ng alam.
So, hindi po ganun yung idea ng mga pioneers ng SDARM, but we want unity. That's all we want.
At saka, maalis sana sa isip na kayo umalis. Bakit kayo umalis? Yan ang laging tanong eh. Kasi ang pagkaalam nila, talagang umalis. Wala silang kamalay-malay na sila pinaalis.
So, we need to make it clear. Be careful of those sabi ni accusation na umalis. But ang totoo is, pinaalis. They were disfellowship from the church.
So, yan po ang isa na dapat natin na tandaan. At saka gusto kong linawin din ito tungkol sa ikalawang punto na dapat na linawin natin. Ano ba talaga ang nangyari noong 1920? Kasi failure na nga, understandable, sabihin natin, understandable din. Baka kasi kasadsadan ba ng kainitan? Conflict. Kaya medyo maiinit siguro ang magkabilang panig, kaya mahirap walang mediator ba? So ang nangyari nung tumahimik na, at least medyo cool na. Cool na ang isip. Tapos na 1918 ceasefire na, wala na yung war, may armistice na. So after 2 years pa, dumating ngayon ang General Conference. At yun, ang layunin ng General Conference sana is pagkaisahin. Yun sana ang layunin.
Yes.
Although, kasi yun ang clamor eh. Yun ang clamor kasi nagkakabalitaan na eh. At saka hindi lang doon sa Germany ang issue. Sinabi natin sa previous videos natin, now 16 countries sa Europe may mga natiwalag. At nagsipag-organize din sila ng separate na mga local churches niyan nila. So, biro mo yan, more than 4,000 people
But let this made it clear na yung pag-organize is not necessarily to say na gusto na nilang humiwalay, but just to function as yung tinatawag na as an organized
para
church.
gumalaw sila na at least pwede na silang magkaroon ng meeting every Sabbath. Magmi-painting sila. Kasi alangan naman na ipilit nila doon, conflict na, ayaw. Pinatalsik na nga siya doon. At saka paano yung pag-aaral ng Biblia? Sinong mag-publish ng Sabbath School lesson? paano ang gagamitin nila. So to function, para maitaguyod nila yung kanilang moral duty as Christian, na merong pag-aaralan, may Sabbath school, tsaka may mga publications na babasahin na for their spiritual enrichment. Kaya naggawa sila doon. Pero they're not intending na as a separate denomination.
So,
ang layunin nila, ginawa yon para later on sana, pag mapakinggan ng higher ups kung pag-usapan, baka may merge na lang.
So
Halimbawa, kahit na may local church na, just i-recognize na lang sana ng field na, okay, i-accept natin yan na member ng ating field. O di tapos.
So they were organizing this for the sake, while waiting for the reconciliation.
Tama.
Kasi hindi naman pwede na nag-aantay na walang ginagawa, nakatulong
Wala.
nga. So the work must go on. That's why
Tama
they were organizing.
So, yun po yung nangyari doon. Kaya nga, hindi sila gumamit ng ibang pangalan. Ginamit nila 70 Adventist pa rin. Ayun. Kaya pag nagpapublish sila, in the name of 70 Adventist pa rin. Ang problema doon, minasama nitong mga leadership. Bakit daw sila nagpapublish ng mga publication? Gagawin din ang pangalan daw ng 70 Adventist. Kasi sila 70 Adventist Pero sila dito, yung mga nasa administration, galit sila kasi sabi na, hindi na kayo 70 Adventist kasi tinanggal na kayo. Yun ang doon.
So give us the evidence about 1920, yung tinatawag na yung pagtatagpo ng dalawang mga representative between both SDA and SDARM at that time.
Ayan, so titingnan po natin, no? Nagkaroon ng meeting noong doon sa Germany, sa Friedensau. Ang doon, that was 1920, merong 51 representatives sa leadership sa Europe. Different missions yan, unions, plus yung officers ng division. Plus may 18 representatives naman dito sa reform. Yung mga hindi pa nga sabagay dinesignate ma rin sila na reform, no? Reform.
Mga local churches.
Pero hindi sinasabing reform movement o 70 Adventist reform movement. Hindi, they are claiming as 70 Adventist pa rin. Okay, tapos merong 4 na representative doon sa galing sa GC.
Okay.
So nag-meet po sila doon sa college, doon sa Friedensau, sa campus, tapos nagkaroon sila ng meeting. At doon sa opening address ni Daniels, sabi niya, therefore, sabi niya, the first thing we should have in view is the truth in the matter, to arrive at what is right, not what I think or how I view it, but that which is really right. This is the aim which we should all have in view. This is the thing which takes first place in my thoughts. What is right, what is God's will, and that we should do His will in this matter. So napakaganda
quite a good opening.
Yung binigay niya na nandito tayo, dapat ang isipin natin kung ano yung tama.
Kagustuhan ng Diyos.
Hindi yung kung ano ang gusto ko. Magandang approach niya sa umpisa. It's very, very encouraging. At saka na-encourage talaga din yung mga tao. Kahit itong mga Nadis Fellowship, tuwang-tuwa sila nung narinig nila yon. Ayan. And then, meron pa siyang sinabi. Sabi niya dito, therefore we cannot spend our time quarreling among ourselves. That's very good.
Very good.
Ayan. We must come together in the spirit of mercy, goodness, and love.
Wow.
We are all human beings, and in a short time, we shall either be laid in the grave or we shall meet our Lord and Savior. And so, we must come together in the spirit of pity and love in order to help each other. I think that is the way in which we should discuss everything. Okay. So, by the way, ang reference natin dito, karamihan, is
from the protocol.
Meron tayo kasing hawak na minutes nung usapan. At remember, itong minutes is stenographic report. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga exchange of ideas talaga yan, nakasulat talaga yan. Kasi stenographer ang nagsulat yun Okay. So, masasabi natin na walang pagkakamali o hindi gawa-gawa lang. talagang kung ano yung nangyari doon, ano yung usapan, ano ang sinabi ng mga speakers, naka-record talaga yan. So, yun po ang reference natin. Okay? Sabi pa ni A.G. Daniels, in general, I should like to say that we want to view this matter from both sides. Very nice, ha? Ibig sabihin, titimbangin, babalansehin. On the one hand, the mistakes that we think were made, a false judgment that has been pronounced, or a wrong course that has been taken. That is one side in consideration. Okay? On the other hand, the remedies which we think would help in the matter. So, hindi lang yung pag-usapan yung yung problem, kung anong kasalanan nangyari, but dapat i-consider kung anong solution. Very very good ang proposition. And then I mean the manner, the course, and the way we should take in order to remedy the matter. This is something of the way I will propose to lead out in this discussion. Kasi ang chairman doon is, siyempre, yung GC President, si A.G. Daniels. Siya ang, by the way, dito sa 18, representative ng mga NADIS Fellowship, o the disfellowship group na sinasabi natin, ang pinili naman nila na chairman at saka spokesman nila is si Dorsler. Dito naman sa panig ng mga European leaders, ang pinili nila na spokesman nila is siyempre yung division president, si Conradi.
Okay.
Ayan. Ang spokesman naman ng General Conference Committee, apat sila, is siyempre yung president, si A.G. Daniels.
So what was discussed doon sa meeting nila, Brother Peter?
Okay. Matapos yung introduction introductory speech ni A.G. Daniels na napakaganda, ang sumunod na nagsalita, yung representative naman ng disfellowship group, si
Dorsler.
si Dorsler. Ngayon, meron siyang dalawang proposition naman na na-erase. Okay? Na parang supplementary doon. Sabi niya, in order that our discussion may be to the honor of God, and that our stand towards the law and the testimony may be clear to everyone, we would ask for an orderly and objective consideration of the principles which come into question, free on both sides from all personal attacks. Ayan. So, sinigundahan niya yung sabi ni Daniels na dapat objective ang ating pagtingin. Tapos, iwasan natin yung personal attack. Ayan. Kasi pag once na nagsimula sila, kahit isa lang magsimula na mag-attack, sunod-sunod na yan eh. Wala nang patutunguhan ng ang meeting. Kaya sabi ng representative ng Reform Pioneers, Islam Pioneers, sabi nila, maging objective tayo sa ating discussion at iwasan natin on both sides umiwas ng personal attacks. Should this condition for an objective discussion which our position before God demands not be carried out, then it will be impossible to complete our responsible position. So, ibig niya sabihin, kung hindi masunod, hindi objective ang discussion at samahan ng mga personal attack, useless ang magiging resulta ng meeting.
Kasi batuhan na lang ng mga problema.
So, iwasan yon. And then number 2, sabi niya, all our fundamental principles which united us as a people and have now separated us. So, sabi niya, ang mas higit nating bigyan ng pansin is yung prinsipyo na pinagkakaisahan natin noon. Kasi dati nagkaisa tayo sa isang prinsipyo isang pananampalataya, isang pinaniniwalaan na katotohanan. Pero yung kung saan tayo nagkaisa ngayon, ito ngayon ang nagiging sanhi kung bakit tayo separated ngayon.
Nagkakahiwalay, yeah.
Kaya dapat yun ang i-consider natin kung papaano na magkabalikan tayo doon. Tapos,
sa prinsipyo na yun.
Dinagdag niya ito, sabi niya, we have nothing to do with all the errors which arose since 1914 through the scattering and refuse any discussion on this point. Ayun. This is the introduction. So, yun bali yung introduction. Yang ibig niyang sabihin, yung nangyari man, yung mga errors na nangyari, both sides naman, maraming mga errors na ginawa nila kasi crisis na nga yun. Di naman natin sasabihin na puro tama lahat ang ginawa ng mga pioneers ng ISDARM. Meron din silang mga pagkakamali.
Yeah.
ang sa kabila, meron din pagkakamali yan. Pero sabi niya, set aside natin yon, yung mga personal errors, huwag nating pag-usapan yon. Yung prinsipyo.
Prinsipyo.
Prinsipyo yung pag-usapan natin, kung ano ba ang dapat natin na tayuan. Yon yung kanyang pakiusap.
So ano naman ang sabi ng mga representative ng European Division?
Okay, so nakinig po sila. And then pagkatapos ng introductory speech naman ni Dorsler, di siyempre binigyan naman ang floor sa kanila. Okay, ang tumayo naman ito si Conradi. At si Conradi nagbigay din siya ng introductory speech din yan. Tapos merong mga paglilinaw na sinabi niya. At hindi natin i-discuss ang whole details kasi tayo. Anyway, pag merong interesado sa inyo mga kapatid, gusto, just tumawag lang po kayo sa amin. We will provide you the documents na necessary. Okay, pero hindi namin ma-share ang lahat dito sa video.
Yeah.
So ito na lang, yung summarize na lang. Ang isang pinaka-outstanding dito na minention niya, na ito naman ang laging sinasabi ng mga kapatid natin, nag-sorry.
Yeah.
Itong mga grupo,
Leaders
mga leaders ng
European
Europe,
Division.
nag-sorry. Pero titingnan natin yung paano ba sila nag-sorry.
Okay.
Ito ang words niya sa protocol page 16. Sabi niya, needless to say, we are extremely sorry. So hindi lang basta sorry, we are extremely sorry that such a thing has happened. If there was ever a time when we should have obeyed the instructions of our Lord and the testimonies to stand together, that time was during the war, even though a difference of opinion of this kind existed. So ang in-emphasize naman niya doon na very sorry sila. Pero saan ba sila sorry doon? Pero yung context dito, hindi yung doon sa nangyaring kasalanan ang pinagsosorihan. They are sorry, nalungkot sila dahil doon sa panahon ng gira na dapat sana sila'y nagkaisa, doon pa sila nagkahiwalay. Yun yung context dito. Sabi
So
niya,
they were not sorry on what the things that they've done, kung hindi dahil lang doon sa separation.
Hindi yung ginawa nila, ang kinalulungkutan nila, yung kasalanan nila. Pero ang kinalulungkutan nila,
Yung separation.
yung nag-split yung church. Ayan. Kaya sabi niya, if there ever a time when we should have obeyed the instruction of our Lord and the testimonies to stand together, that time was during the war. Pero nakakalungkot dahil hindi nangyari yun. Kung kailan pa sila dapat na magkaisa, kasi crisis, ay doon pa yun sila na nahiwalay. Yun po yung punto. So gusto natin na linawin yun kasi akala ng mga kapatid, yung pagsosori nila is nagsabi sila ba na kami po ay magsasabi na kami po ay nalulungkot o we are sorry na nakagawa kami ng kasalanan. Yun ang hindi yun yung yung context ng kanilang pagsusori. Hindi. Kahit basahin natin yung buong document wala man lang, hindi na touch yun. Yan. At mamaya malalaman ninyo, actually they don't accept na nagkamali sila. Tinayuan talaga nila during the course of the meeting ng dialogue na tama yung kanilang ginawa.
Okay,
yan.
Let's go further.
Okay? At ito po, bilang kalagdagan after the war, pa rin sila, meron silang ginawa na declaration na talagang kinonfirm nila na yung tinayuan nila noon daw sa during the war at saka yung ipinaliwanag nila noong 1920 na tayo nila ay hindi nagbabago.
Pareho pa din.
So, yung during the war, sabi nila na tama naman yung tinayuan nila na position. During the negotiation, tama daw yung yung tinayuan nila na position. And even this after 4 years kasi 1923 ito ay tama pa rin daw ang kanilang tinayuan. So gumawa sila ng declaration dito sa Gland, Switzerland. Nagkaroon kasi sila ng council meeting. Ito European Committee Council meeting December 23, 1922 to January 2, 1923. Okay, year end ito. Sabi nila, our position during the war, as it had been expressed in different documents, was reviewed. And we herewith by our own signatures confirm anew what had already been declared in Freedom So in 1920. Our regret that such documents had been issued. Okay. We are in full harmony with the statement adopted by the Council today. Okay. So, yun po, yung sabi nila doon. Ano ang regret nila? Yung yung pagka-issue ng document. Yan. Mamaya, natin yan sa details noon. Okay. So, ayan po ang kanilang And then, sabi nila, yung tayo nila is, in peace and in war, we decline to participate in acts of violence and bloodshed. Ayan. So, sabi nila, parang sumang-ayon naman sila doon sa original na position. Na in peace and in war, we decline to participate in acts of violence and bloodshed. Pero, sabi nila, we grant to each of our church members absolute liberty to serve his country at all times and in all places in accord with the dictates of his personal conscientious conviction. So ito yung nakasira doon sa position. Parang sinasabi nila na tinatayuan pa rin nila yung original na no participation in acts of bloodshed.
Pero hinahayaan yung mga member.
Pero binibigay naman nila yung laya sa mga tao na okay lang sa inyo kung sumama.
Kung ano yung gusto niyo.
Kung anong gusto ninyong gawin. Okay lang. Whether you subscribe to this doctrine or you disobey, no problem. Ayan, yan ang nakasama doon. Kaya ang nangyari, hindi talaga, because of that position, ang mga nakarinig ay sumama sila sa gira. Hindi na yung nai-impose yung yung bang naitago na yung original position na no participation in bloodshed and war, at ang nasa harapan, ang nagiging front na sinusunod, everyone will do according to the dictate of his conscience. Kaya ang nangyari dito, doon sa Russia, doon sa kanila 1928, ito ang kanilang nagiging tayo. The Sixth Assembly of Seventh-day Adventists in 1928 declares and decides that Seventh-day Adventists are required to render to Caesar that which belongs to Caesar and to God that which belongs to God. This means that they are to serve the state and in the army and render all forms of service according to the established rule of all citizens. So yan ang nagiging tayo nila. Wala pa rin. Kasi everybody will follow what he wants. Hindi na yung rule, parang naitago ng rule, wala nang silbi yung rule, kung ano na lang ang gusto mong gawin mo.
Kaya parang ang nangyayari dito, Brother Peter, they are saying one thing and they are doing another thing.
Ayun.
So walang tinatawag na consistency or coherency.
Parang in theory, they are non-combatants.
But
they are against bloodshed, but in practice, they are combatants. Ayun ang nangyari doon. Okay, ito pa sa Yugoslavia, ganito din. According to the Bible standard, render to Caesar the things which are Caesar's. Adventist Christians fulfill all their duties, including military duties. They conscientiously serve the army with weapons in time of peace as well as in time of war.
Wow, that's a contradiction of statement.
Contradiction talaga 'yon. So, walang
paninindigan.
Walang paninindigan sa katotohanan. Hindi na katotohanan ang umiiral dito. Konsensya na lang. So, yung katotohanan, parang nasa ilalim ng konsensya. Konsensya ang mas makapangyarihan kaysa yung prinsipyo. Yun ang nangyari doon sa kanila. So, yun ang isa na hindi natin maiwasan na sabihin para malaman ng ating mga kapatiran. Hindi paninira ito. Ito talaga yung actual
realidad
na nangyari. At hindi lang, sample lang itong binigay natin na dalawa. But in almost all the European countries,
ganon ang statement na pinadala nila.
Oo, ganon ang kanilang meron tayong ebidensya niyan documented ang mga yan Kasi na-publish naman sa mga publications noong araw. And then number 2 na gusto nating liunawin na pangyayari. Doon nilinaw po ni Conradi na yun palang prinsipyo nila na pwedeng sumali sa gira based on their conscience ay hindi lang pala bago. Sabi dito, for 28 years we have as a people admonished our young folk that they should stay in the country in the interest of the work, and that they should do their duty to the government, that they should bear arms, but if possible, to try to get the Sabbath free. Okay. So parang lumalabas dito, teka muna, sabi na, we have taken the same position towards those who attended the school on the Sabbath. Ayan. So ibig sabihin, pag sa military, pwede talaga silang malaya silang pumunta sa military. Pero parang hindi sila nakokonsensya doon na sumama sa gira, pumatay. Pero ang medyo nakokonsensya sila sa Sabat.
Na hindi magtrabaho.
Kaya hindi baling okay lang na sumama sa gira basta sikapin na sana pag Sabado hindi magtatrabaho. 'Yon ang kanilang sinisikap na magkaroon ng Sabbath exemption sa government. Tapos sa din sa school, Ganon din. Sinisikap naman nila na kumuha ng exemption doon sa Sabat. Kaya lang, sometimes, pagka medyo yung government ay medyo nagbigay ng pabor, okay lang. Pero pag hinigpitan, ay talagang, pag mahigpit, sige lang. Konsensya na rin ang pairalin. Kaya, nangingibabaw talaga ang konsensya kaysa yung salita ng Panginoon. Yan po yung nangyari doon. For 28 years before pa nagkaroon ng gira, ganun na palaga ang tinuturo. Ayon kay hindi
Conradi.
ayon sa atin, ayon kay Conradi. At nasa protocol yan, page 16. Yan. Ikatlo, lininaw din niya na noong World War I, majority of the SDS just acted according to the principles of combatancy na itunuro sa kanila for 28 years. Kaya siyempre, for 28 years, in-educate na nila yung mga members sa ganun na prinsipyo. So, expectedly, nung dumating yung gira, they just acted what they have been taught na ganun. So, meron lang yung yung sinuturo nila doon. Pero meron din naman yung mga members na natuto doon sa lesson. Yung lesson na galing sa
General
taas.
Conference,
Talagang doon ay tinuturo naman yung huwag sasali sa gira. Ayan. So, yun po yung nangyari. Sabi dito, no one has wanted this position, but we have had to submit to the things as they were. When the war broke out, a great number of people acted according to these principles. Ano yung principles na yon? Yung tinuro nila for 28 years na pwedeng sumali sa gira. Pero sikapin mo na magkaroon ka ng Sabbath rest. Pero pag hindi ka bibigyan, trabaho ka lang. Ayun ang doon. So they acted according to that principle na itinuro sa kanila for 28 years. Okay. And then, ang resulta, hindi lang mga lalaki ang pumunta sa gira, pati babae pa. Sabi dito, in 1916, not only men were called to service, but men and women had to render auxiliary service. Auxiliary brigade sila, no? We sent out a declaration in which we gave the assurance that we were willing to do everything, but that we wanted the Sabbath free. Everything includes, pwede kaming sumama sa gira, basta free lang sana kami sa Sabado. Para bang yung pag-violation of the Sabbath, mas mabigat sa kanilang paningin kaysa yung pumatay. Parang mas magaan yung pumatay. Kagaya lang doon sa aming tribo, sa pakiramdam ng mga katribo namin, yung pagpatay, hindi gaanong kriminal. Pero yung pagnanakaw, yun ay mabigat na kasalanan, nakakahiya. Pero yung pumatay ka, pupurihin ka pa pag pumatay ka. Pero dito, ganun, pag pumatay ka, hindi gaanong hindi sila gaanong
Hindi
nakokonsensya.
masyadong grievous.
Oo, pero sa Sabado, yun ang sinisikap talaga nila na ma-exempt. Yan. So, yun po ang ikaapat. Ikalima, na lininaw ni Conradi sa kanyang speech, the European leaders adopted liberty of conscience as their stand officially in 1917. Sabi niya, in 1917, we gave out a further declaration after we said that war or peace is still an open question. We repeated that in spite of the movement, everyone had complete liberty of conscience, that we would respect each one's conscientious conviction. Okay. Bakit? Kasi ito, noong 1917, inisyu nila itong declaration. Pero previous to that kasi, di ba yung sulat nila is talagang full-fledged combatant. Hindi yung yung kung pansinin mo yung sulat nila, wala naman silang sinabi according to your conscience. Sabi nila talagang lahat dapat na conscripted SDA dapat sumali sa gera. Ayun. Kaya nga pinarusahan pa yung mga yung mga hindi sumunod Pero nung 1917, medyo towards the end of the war, medyo minodify nila. Ini-attach na nila yung liberty of conscience doon. Pero previous to that, wala na yung liberty of conscience Full blast na na combatant talaga. Okay. So yun, hindi natin inimbento ito. Ayon doon sa declaration ni Conraday. Page 16 pa rin ng protocol. Okay. Ngayon, pagkatapos ng mag-clarify siya dito sa 5 ba yun? Okay, 5 na punto na yon at saka medyo marami pa nga. Summarize lang yan meron silang binigay na siyam na katanungan na gusto nilang sagutin ng taga-GC. Kasi ang nangyari dito, itong dalawang nagbangayan, itong minority at saka majority, dumating ang GC officers, bali sila yung judges. Sila yung judges kung sila yung arbiter para i-solve yung problema na yon. Purposely, kung paano itong dalawa magkaisa sana. Ayun, kasi nagkahiwalay na sila Ayun. So ngayon, meron silang 6 na katanungan. Basahin natin yung 6 na katanungan. Okay. Number 1, has our leadership in Europe made a mistake that it tolerated military service by our brethren in peace times as well as tolerated the attendance of our children at school on the Sabbath? Ayun. So, yun ang tinatanong nila doon sa General Conference. Bakit nagkamali ba kami na tinolerate namin ang pagsali? Pinayagan namin ang pagsali sa gira at pag-attend ng eskwela ng mga bata sa araw ng Sabat. Bakit kaya nila tinatanong yun? Sa kanilang position, ay hindi sila nagkasala. Kaya ang tanong nila doon sa General Conference, nagkasala ba kami dito? Have we made a mistake in these points? Kung mistake, hinihintay nila kung mistake, ano kaya ang sasabihin nila? Pero unfortunately, sasabihin ko sa inyo, hindi ito sinagot ni hindi sinagot ni Conradi, na hindi niya inisa-isa itong mga tanong at saka sinagot. Okay, tuloy natin. Question number 2. Under the difficult circumstances, was it right for the leaders of the opposition movement, ang tawag nila sa reform ay opposition movement, to stir up our churches continually, to cause unrest, to tear them down, and to found their own churches, although we stressed from the beginning that each individual was free to act according to his conscience and to remain in the churches only they should openly confess their position to the government. Ayan. Tama daw yung mga opposition na mag-stir up. Ano ba yung kailangan mag-stir up? Pero linawin natin yung stir up na sinasabi nila, yung bang i-share nila yung conviction nila na alam mo tayong mga 70 Adventists, hindi tayo dapat sasama sa gira. Para sa kanila, yun ay stirring up. Yun. Kasi yun lang naman ang sasabihin nila alam nyo, ang dating tayo natin as 70 Adventists, hindi dapat sasama sa gira. Akala nila that is stirring up yon. Number 3, was it right for the movement to publish pamphlets at such a critical time and to distribute them by thousands among the people, that the end of the world will follow immediately after this war, and besides this, instead of putting their own name and publishing house, they pointed to our Humboldt publishing house? Ayan. Okay, anyway, clarification lang po, itong mga sumulat dito ay hindi po yan yung mga ng Seventh-day Adventist Reform Movement. Yung nag-publish dito ng time setters, hindi po hindi official na publication ng
Islam
Reform
Church.
Movement. Yan. Individual, may mga private na mga tao po yan na gumagawa. Yan. Okay, number 4, had the opposition movement a right to call our brethren who did military service according to their own conviction during the war murderers and Sabbath breakers? Meron ba silang karapatan? Ano sa tingin niyo mga viewers? Kung meron bang karapatan ng tao na pag nakakita na pumatay, sabihin mo murderer? Palay ko may karapatan ang bawat isa na magsabi na pag may pumatay, sabi na ikaw mamamatay tao ka.
Ay sigurado kasi naman pumatay na ngayon. Alangan anong tawag doon.
Okay. Number 5, had they a right to accuse us of robbing them of their publishing houses and missionary institutions? Yan, inexplain ni Dolphler yan kay yung issue na yan doon kay sa kanila during this meeting. Okay, had they further a right without contacting the leadership of the General Conference, which was represented here still in 1917, to publish periodicals and to found their own union, to ordain ministers and to call themselves International Missionary Society of Seventh-day Adventists? Siyempre, sa point of view ng administration, wala silang karapatan. Pero kapag ikaw ay tiniwalag, ano pang pakialam nila sa iyo kung maggawa ka ng sarili mong church, halimbawa, tiniwalag ka na nga Alangan naman mas mabuti pa ba sa kanila na pag ikay tiniwalag ka, bumalik ka na lang sa sanglibutan, bumalik na lang kayo, mga wala na lang kayo, sasabihin doon na mas okay pa sa kanila yon kaysa yung makita kayo na mag-organize at patuloy pa rin kayo na magpupulong, may election, sa kanila masama yun Yan ang hindi natin maintindihan. Pero kung hindi daw sila nag-organize at nakawatak-watak sila, walang problema sa kanila yon. Yan ang bahala ng viewers natin na doon sa ganun na idea, kung tama ba yon. Okay. Number 7, is it biblical to quote the testimonies of Sister White as they did in their periodicals and then to distribute them among non-Adventists? Or are the testimonies only written for the Church of God? So may idea kasi pala sila na yung daw sulat ni Sister White para lang sa mga member. Hindi pwedeng ibigay mo sa non-members.
How about yung great controversy na binibenta and Christ Subject
Lessons? Yun na nga
and Spirit of Prophecies, 4 volumes ng Spirit of Prophecies.
Ayun.
So that means that belief is somewhat like sketchy doon sa idea na yan.
So meron tayong babasahin mamaya yan tungkol dyan. Okay, tuloy natin. Number 8. Had they further the right to distribute the aforementioned periodicals which describe us as the fallen church openly to the public after our meetings as though they were quotations from our lectures and in which they used the testimonies falsely for this purpose? Okay, doon sa punto na yon na nag-distribute sila ng pamphlet tapos sasabihin nila na para tanggapin ng mga tao, ito'y bahagi ng sermon ni pastor. O di tanggapin naman ng tao, that is falsehood. Mali talaga yon. Aminin natin, mali talaga yung kanilang ginawa yon kasi they are using falsehood to promote allegedly yung totoo. Sabihin natin hindi tama yon. So yon, inamin naman nila yon na talagang mali. At saka yung mga pag-print nila, mayroon silang mga literature na hindi nila linagay kung sino yung author, tapos ang linagay na address ay yung publishing house nila. Ayon ang inamin din nila na mali yun. Nagkamali sila doon. They should have not done that. Inamin din nila ayon sa record. So, aminin din natin na talagang mali yun.
Mali na practice yun.
Number 9, according to the report of February 1918 and in the session of September 28, 1918, had they a right to take the position that all ambulance service is devil service? Or according to the altered resolution, ambulance service at the front is still devil service? Okay, lininaw din nila ito during the ng mga opposition na yung resolution na yon is, although totoo na in the beginning merong pinagbotohan na ganyan, pero that was dropped. Ibig sabihin, habang at the end of the meeting, drain up din nila yon. In-explain din naman nila doon sa document na yon doon sa kanilang Kasi nung usisahin ni Daniels, ayun, pinaliwanag nila na tama yon. Meron talagang ganun na decision in the beginning doon sa kanilang meeting. Pero later on, it was dropped. So wala na yon. Hindi na dapat na i-brought out pa yon. Kaya lang, ang nangyayari dito, kahit na-drop na, pero
Gusto pa rin buhayin.
binubuhay pa rin yun na parang as if na yon pa rin ang position. Although, drain up na yon na hindi talaga tama yon. Okay? Ayan. Ngayon, siyempre, merong tanong naman yung yung tapos na yung sinubmit na tanong ng leadership ni Conraday. So, binigay naman yung time dito sa disfellowship group. Okay. Kasi ngayon, naman sila. So, doon sa mga presentation of documents, in-examine nila, tapos may ginawang mga paglilinaw doon sa mga, kasi sabi na, ito sa inyo, lahat, lahat.
Membro nyo to.
Oo. Membro nyo ang may kagagawan nito. Siyempre, umangal itong mga opposition. Sabi na, teka muna, linawin natin, i-check natin, tignan natin kung alin ang amin at alin ang hindi. Huwag naman yun ninyong generalize na lahat yan ay sa amin. Kasi napansin nila na pati yung hindi kanila ay sinasabing sa kanila.
Sino kaya?
Nga naman yun.
Sino kaya yun?
Halimbawa, ito, sabi ni Daniels, A.G. Daniels, these here are the documents which have been handed to us by Brother Conradi. Pinakita niya, lahat. They are to show how matters stand with this movement, your movement. We can pick out those which you do not consider belonging to your movement. Okay. The first is by Wick. Ito, tao na ito yung pangalan na Wick. Okay, itong document na ito, ang sinulat ni Wick. Ano ito? Sa inyo ito, hindi. Sabi ni Dorsler, he did not belong to this movement. I have had the privilege of being with this movement from the beginning. Ayan. So, lininaw niya, ito pa lang si Wick na ito, ay tawag dito, siya pala yung sumulat ng pamphlet na nagsasabi na ang Seventh-day Adventist ay Babylon. So, akala, iyon ang umiiral ngayon na kahit sa mga publication, sinasabi nila ng Seventh-day Adventist, itong mga pioneers ng Seventh-day Adventist Reform Movement,
siya nagsulat
ay sila yung nag-a-accuse daw na ang Seventh-day Adventist ay Babylon.
10,000
Pero ang
copies.
totoo, 10,000 kasi ang inidistribute nila, di marami nga naman. Pero dito, nilinaw nila na hindi amin yan. At saka yung tao na yan, hindi sa grupo namin. So for the information doon sa ating mga sa ating mga viewers, doon po kasi sa mga time na yon, maraming mga factions. Maraming mga factions yon. May mga iba na-start ng ibang mga leaders na against sa SDA Church. So hindi lang 2 o 3 ang factions noon. Isa lang itong grupo ng pioneers ng ISDARM. Okay, isa lang 'yon. Kaya dapat sana hindi nila i-generalize. Although lahat sila ay apektado doon sa decision ng combatancy kasi sila ay ayaw sa combatancy. Pero sa maraming bagay nakakaiba ang kanilang point of view. Ayun. So kagaya doon nung 1986 yung anti-Marcos. Nung pagpatalsik sa Marcos, nagsama-sama itong mga opposition. Ang daming mga political groups yun doon sila pare-pareho silang opposition at that time, but they are individual groups yan. Hindi mo pwede na ang kasalanan ng grupo ni Laurel, yun din ang kasalanan ng grupo ni Aquino. Hindi naman pwede yun. You have to distinguish. Kung ano yung kasalanan ng grupo ni Laurel, yun lang. Huwag mong iparatang doon sa grupo ng mga Aquinos. Hindi tama yun. So ganon din dito, sana yung kasalanan ng ibang grupo, wag namang iparatang dito sa
SDARM.
SDARM. Yan
Sino
po.
pa, brother?
Okay, isa pa, itong si Herms. Ito pang si Herms, sabi ni A.J. Daniels, did Herms belong to you? Sabi ni Dorsler, for a short time, we immediately marked the people when they did this behind our backs. Ito pa lang si Herms, sumama in the beginning dito sa grupo ng mga pioneers ng SDARM. Pagkatapos, nagpapublish ng sarili niya.
Hindi napapasakop
Na hindi nagpapasakop doon sa grupo. Nung mapapansin at nagkakaroon nga ng trouble, sabi hindi na tama yon. Pinayuan siya, ayaw makinig, kaya inalis.
Okay.
Ayan, so naalis na.
So hindi pwedeng iparatang ulit sa atin
Hindi
yan.
pwedeng iparatang. Kaya sabi ni Dorsler dito, we were not able to tell what kind of people they were. And they printed pamphlets without asking the committee. Because we were not so organized in the beginning. Ayan ang term doon.
Who else?
Okay. Ito pa, si Hosfeld. Si Hosfeld naman, ito yung time setter. May kasama siya. Ministro ito ng 70 Adventist. So, yung kasalanan na, hindi dapat nasabihin na kasalanan ng SDARM. 70 Adventist din siya . Tapos may kasama pa siya na isa na ministro. Ayan, nagke-claim na tumanggap daw ng ng vision. Na darating si Jesus Christ 1918. Pinaparatang naman sa 70 Adventist. Yan po ang sa SDARM. Pinaparatang ng 70 Adventist na naman sa SDARM. Ayan. Ay sabi ni Dorsler, here again we must say that it was not presented to the committee. He made a time reckoning with which we are not agreed. Lininaw Lininaw doon. Ang problema, itong mga accusations na ito, hindi nila binibigay yung document, yung total information, kapiranggot lang. Tapos hanggang ngayon, ini-spread yung wrong information na yon, na itong mga pioneers ng 70 Adventist Reform Movement ay mga time setters.
So let's make a conclusion on this part na yung si Wick and
si Erm
at saka si Hosfeld.
At saka hindi, meron pang mga iba pero hindi na natin
mention lahat.
Pero yung interesado na bumasa doon sa document, nandun yung pangalan nila.
So these people are not really the members of the church. Well, kung naging member man, tinanggal sila sa church simply because yung prinsipyo na or mga bagay na ginagawa nila is not really in accordance to the practice of the church. So what was the questions naman, kasi nagbigay na ng questions yung mga leader ng German Union. What was the question that was given by the opposition?
Sa panig naman ng mga opposition, yung mga disfellowship na tinawag nila opposition movement, ay apat lang yung kanilang tanong. Okay,
so what are those?
Number one, sabi nila, what position does the General Conference take concerning the decision which was made by the German leaders since 1914 in regard to the fourth and sixth commandment? Okay. Tandaan natin yan. Number two, what proof can we be shown that we have not taken the biblical course towards the brethren? Okay. Na para bang hindi sumunod daw sa proseso ng nung kung paano ma-solve ang problem. Number three, what position does the General Conference of the American Brethren take towards the testimony of Sister White? Number one, are they inspired by God or not? Number two, should we continue to proclaim health reform as the right arm of the message? Yan. And number four, is our message according to Revelation 14:6-12 national or international? Ayan ang tanong nila. Okay, so isa-isahin natin yung sagot. Hindi tayo ang sasagot kasi binigay nila yung tanong para sagutin ng ng committee ng GC.
So what was the yung naging sagot kaya ng GC
dito yan ang
sa mga
ating
tanong
linawin. Okay? Inisa-isa ng GC na in-scrutinize yan. At saka sinagot isa-isa. Gusto ko lang na i-comment dito na magkadalawang set of questions. Galing yung 4 galing dito sa minority, yung 6 galing sa majority. Pero ang nakapagtataka dito, itong mga judges na tumata yung bali judges at evaluators
yung
GC representative and officers. parang dito lang nila
Decline.
pinansin yung question ng mga ang
European.
ininteresin nila yung mga disfellowship, hindi man lang binigyan ng paglilinaw yung
Yung sa
yung
European,
sagot ng sa
European Division.
European Division.
So somewhat like
Hindi.
They are
Para masasabihin natin
pacifying
na,
the
oo,
the
bias.
controversy.
Masasabi natin na very very obvious yung pagkabias nila. Kahit basahin mo from beginning to end, 3 days yan They did not give time to answer. Inignore nila totally.
Just even for a
But
day.
dito sa ang concern nila,
Yung disfellowship.
yung na-disfellowship. At titignan natin na medyo iba Okay. So ito ang sagot ng GC committee sa sa tanong. Ang unang tanong is, what position does the General Conference take concerning the decision which was made by the German leaders? Yung decision doon na inallow nila yung mga members na sumama sa gira, pumatay in violation of the Sixth Commandment, trabaho in violation of the Sabbath Commandment. Yan. Ano ngayon and what position you take? Do you endorse or you do not endorse? Yun naman ang essence nun Okay. So, ang una po, backgrounder, mga minamahal na mga kapatid, bago pa yung meeting na ito, noong dumating yung information noon, noong 1915 sa kanila, ito ang sinabi nila. Sinabi niya, doon din sa panahon na yun, in-explain niya kung ano yung naging attitude nila bago pa sila pumunta dyan sa Europe. Sabi niya, sa protocol, page 30, I should like to say that the declaration of Brother Dale, when it came to us in America, did not seem right, and we regretted this. Well, what did not seem right and what did they regret? Okay, we received letters from members who condemned, or that means who expressed disapproval, it very severely, and asked that we should rise and condemn it. We told them that they should be quiet and cautious. I have never used my pen to publish a condemnation of this declaration. Neither has Brother Spicer, for he said, let us not condemn the brethren in Germany and Europe in their distress. Brother Prescott took the same view. So they did not condemn, meaning to say, they did not express their disapproval
Doon sa ginawa ng
So,
union, division.
ayaw nila na i-disapprove. Ayun ang doon. So, that amounts to approval. Pag hindi mo i-disapprove,
I-approve mo talaga. There is no neutral side.
Okay. So ano yung ni-regret nila? Pinaliwanag ni ni Daniels. Kung ano yung na-regret nila doon sa nangyari. Sabi niya, and so I could say in general about the document to the War Ministry by Brother Schubert the following. There were expressions in it in which we regretted. And we believe that if he had had a year's time to think over the matter, and if he had had time to talk with the young brethren, then he would have composed it differently.
Paano niya nasabi that nakasulat na doon kanina that they already believe that position 28 years
28
ago?
years ago. Kaya medyo parang pacifying na niya. So, ang regret nila, some expressions in the message. Okay, sabi pa, I believe that if you had had more time here and the matter had not broken upon you so suddenly, the declaration could have been composed in such a way that they would have caused less difficulties. While we cannot completely approve these statements, so they approve but not completely approve. Or not completely approved, not completely disapproved. Nasa
They are halfway.
Okay. Yet, we have not lost confidence in the sincerity and affection of these brethren. A man may make a mistake and yet have the sincerest conviction and desire in his heart to do right. So, yun ang kanilang, they cannot completely approve. They cannot completely disapprove. Nasa pagitan. So, anong ginawa nila? Sabi niya, siyang nag-explain, Protocol, page 29 to 30. We took the attitude that everyone should act in this matter according to his conscience. We declare our position as non-combatant. We are not concerned with going to war, but we must allow every citizen to take his position toward the government according to his own conscience. Not one of these people has been disfellowship from our denomination. Okay, so ang ginawa pala nila doon, inadapt na nila yung liberty of conscience na So, totoo naman na pag inadapt mo na, okay na. Hindi mo na i-rebuke kasi tama na yun. That's according to their conscience. So, hindi nagiging crime yung kanilang ginawa. Kahit pa nakatransgress sila, hindi nagiging kasalanan sa Diyos at saka sa church. Pero hindi sila makakatakas sa taas. Pero dito sa church, parang libre sila. Wala silang crime dito sa church.
As what we have said on our last video, yung liberty of conscience na-apply doon sa majority ng European division pero hindi na-apply doon sa minority.
Sa minority, tama.
So it's somewhat the bias na
Bias
sinasabi
na
na liberty of conscience. So
kasi yung
this really
sumanad
sad.
sa liberty of conscience at hindi sumama sa gira, pinag-disfellowship. Yung gumamit ng liberty of conscience tapos sumama sa gira, yun ang hindi dinisfellowship.
So the same
Yan,
thing.
baliktad.
So there is somewhat like
meron talagang yon, yung parang sa sanglibutan ba na may batas na
partiality.
Pero hindi dapat yon. Pero nangyayari sa lipunan dito nangyari din dito partial justice. Doon. So sabi pa dito, ang ginawa actually ng General Conference is labag sa kalooban ng Diyos. Binanggit natin sa previously, Patriarchs and Prophets 6:34, sabi, God has given men no liberty to depart from His requirements. Okay. God has given no liberty for to depart from His requirements. In deciding upon any course of action, we are not to ask whether we can see that harm will result, but whether it is in keeping with the will of God. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So yun po. Yung hindi binigay ng Panginoon na liberty to transgress, binigay ng mga leaders ng church. Yan ang mali doon. So, ito hindi tama. Linagay nila yung conscience above the Bible, above the Word of God. Whereas, ang sabi ng Panginoon, dapat conscience should be under the law of God. Sumunod sa law of God. Basahin natin. The idea is entertained by many that a man may practice anything that he conscientiously believes to be right. But the question is, has the man a well-instructed, good conscience, or is it biased and warped by his own preconceived opinions? Conscience is not to take the place of thus saith the Lord.
Okay, that's very clear.
Thus saith the Lord, thou shalt not kill. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Dapat mangibabaw yun, hindi yung conscience. Yan po ang mali doon. So, they try to justify, but they cannot justify. Paano nila sinubok na para bang gawin na matuwid yung mali. Sabi nila, as long as we do not have any precise limits and rules regarding our position towards authorities, everyone must be allowed liberty to proceed according to his conscience. Ito po mali ito Kaya daw nila inallow yung liberty of conscience kasi wala daw tayong precise limits
na meron naman
and rules.
Na 1865 pa lang meron na.
Meron na.
Na disfellowship na nga
Kaya kumbaga tinatawag ito na palusot lang o alibay lang, okay? Kasi ito ang sabi yung precise limit. Those who love God's commandments will conform to every good law of the land. But if the requirements of the rulers are such as conflict with the laws of God, the only question to be settled is, shall we obey God or man? At ang binigay na decision is, sabi dito, he who has God's law written in the heart will obey God rather than man. Yan ang tama. So may limit po, may precise limit kung kailan tayo dapat sumunod sa gobyerno at kailan hindi. Kailan tayo sumunod? Kapag yung batas nila ay in harmony with the law of God. Kailan tayo hindi dapat sumunod? Kapag ang batas nila ay against sa law of God. Yan po yung precise limit. Sabi niya, wala daw precise limit nakalimot lang siguro.
Nakalimot o talagang sinadya lang. Lilimot. So it's either of the two. But still, that does not cover na meron talagang precise limit yon. May
precise limit talaga yan. Kaya sabi nga ng Acts chapter 5:29, naintindihan ito ng mga apostles. Kaya sabi ni Pedro, then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. Ayan po mga kapatid. At eto pa, yung GC committee, nagpatutuo sila na sila mismo nagpatutuo na kung ano yung ginawa ng sa Europe.
Ganon din yung...
Ganon din yung ginawa nila. Sumunod sila sa yapak ng European leaders na mali.
Kaya sinabi na lang na okay, wala precise limit kasi pareho man tayo ng ng idea. So
pareho ng idea.
Tanggalin na lang natin yung precise limit kahit na nandoon na.
Pero ang ngayon, pilit na isinasaksak ng mga leadership ng SDA sa mga membro, sa isipan ng membro, na okay, nakasala yung mga European Division, pero ang General Conference, walang pakialam.
Hindi pwede, mabasa natin na talagang tinolerate talaga nila.
Okay, ito sabi mismo ni Daniels, page 30 ng protocol. The brethren in America took the same moderate and tolerant stand as our brethren in Europe. O, nakita nyo? The same tolerant and moderate and tolerant stand as our brethren in Europe. We followed the same course as our brethren in England, France, and other countries. O, sumunod silang parehong yapak. O, kasi pareho na sumunod doon sa requirements ng government. O, di ba? Parehas lang sa Amerika, ganun. Kasi, yun nga, sa kanila, liberty of conscience, pero yun ang patutunguhan lahat. Kaya sabi niya, siyang umamin. Kung yung ano yung ginagawa ng taga-Europe, yun din ang ginawa namin sa Amerika. Hindi tayo ang nag-a-accuse, si Daniels ang nagsabi. Sabi niya, we followed the same course as our brethren in England, France, and the other countries. The brethren in America took the same moderate and tolerant stand as the brethren in Europe. Ayun. And then, paano nila pinaliwanag yan? Kung titignan mo daw yung military spirit ng taga-Amerika at saka yung military spirit ng mga taga-Europe, na yung talagang parang, ganado na makipaggira. Enthusiasm nila na makipaggira. Sabi niya, parehas lang. Basahin natin, page 30 pa rin dito sa protocol. Hindi tayo nag-a-accuse dito sila ang based doon sa at saka yung document na ito sila ang nag-print, hindi atin.
So let us clear about this kasi may mga nag-comment doon sa video natin, mga maliliit daw, and then that's just an accusation. So we'd like to make it clear doon sa mga viewers natin, it is not an accusation because an accusation is walang ebidensya.
At saka nanggaling sa atin na nag-a-accuse. Ito sila ang nagsasabi mismo.
They admitted themselves.
They admitted.
So this is not an accusation, and this is not just a little matter. It is with regards to our doctrine. Let us just remind us to our viewer. Go on further.
Sabi dito, after all, we have the conviction that our brethren in Europe have the non-combatant position also. As they non-combatant din daw sila. Sa Europe, non-combatant din daw. Pareho. We have spoken to brethren who went to the war, and I can tell you that we did not find a greater military spirit among any of our brethren in Europe than in America.
So that means they have the enthusiasm in participating.
Hindi daw greater yung military spirit ng taga-Europe kaysa sa Amerika. Kundi hindi greater, that means equal.
So that means they are the same enthusiast doon sa pagsali sa giyera.
Ayan. Non-combatant sila in principle but combatant in practice.
So that is incoherence of words and practice.
Okay. And then ito pa, ang sabi ng GC, ito ang judgment ng GC At dahil doon, sabi pa nila na pareho silang faithful. Okay? Sabi ni Daniels, and I can also tell you that our brethren in Europe are as faithful in spirit and in their action as our brethren in America.
Wow.
In 2 points, yung mga nasa Europe daw at saka nasa Amerika, they are as faithful. Pareho silang ka-faithful in terms of spirit, in attitude, and in actions.
So we can say that yung na-disfellowship, they are not faithful.
Ang magiging kalalabas yun, yung hindi faithful, yung itong mga na-disfellowship kasi hindi sila sumama sa gira.
Na nag-abad lang naman doon sa prinsipyo, former prinsipyo na tinalikuran ng church.
So medyo baliktad. Yung itim naging puti, yung puti ginawang itim.
Kaya sinasabi doon, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Tuloy natin, sabi na, to express everything once again, in other words, parang inulit niya, refresh niya, we regret some of the declarations which were sent out. So they regret some of the declarations. But when we go back to the spirit and motives which led up to them, then we find that these brethren in Europe are standing as faithfully and sincerely to the work as we are
So that-
in America. Ayun ang context doon.
So that means those people who did not go to war are not sincere
Yun
and
ang
are
hindi
not faithful.
sincere. Oh.
That's
So,
really-
let the viewers decide kung
Yeah.
sino talaga ang sincere, sino ang faithful. Okay? Pero, in reference to God, sa principle. O, in terms of sincerity siguro sa yung mga sumama sa gira, in terms of their sincerity to the government, okay, siguro sabihin natin
Okay.
tama, okay talaga yan.
Pero sa-
But how about to God?
Prinsipyo ng Diyos.
Kasi maraming decorated soldiers eh. Kasi yung ang utos kasi ng ni Guidel that they will find us valiant and true soldiers who are willing to die for our country. Sabi niya. Kaya willing talaga sila. Kaya maraming linagyan ng medalya. O tapos dito dinisplay pa during the meeting, sinabi ng diniscuss nila na eto meron pala silang listahan ng mga yung mga sumali sa gira nan talagang mga good performers sa military. May
So,
listahan sila.
In which we recommend sa viewers natin, please watch the past video, part 5, no makita nila
Oo.
yung apostasy ng church. Okay.
Ayun po yung doon. So ano po, isummarize natin, ano yung kanilang regret talaga, ano yung kanilang pinagsisihan. Number one, sabi dito, the GC committee regrets some of the documents sent out because of some expressions.
Expressions,
Oh,
not
some
the
expressions,
not the action, but the
Not the
expression.
action. Hindi nila kino-condemn yung action, pero yung
Expression.
yung pagkagawa ng sulat, sabi niya, hindi dapat sana hindi ganun ang pagkagawa. Yan. So some expressions there are not seem to be right.
Pero yung
Pero yung
intent,
action nila,
yung intent, ganun pa din.
They do not condemn. Talagang tama daw yung action na yon. And then, hindi daw, sincere naman daw sila sa kanilang motibo. And then, sabi nila, they are as faithful in spirit and in their action. Faithful pa rin sila doon. Ayan. So, yun po ang summary natin. Pero, yun ay as far as the GC committee are concerned as judges. Kasi lang tumayo na judges sa tingin nila, okay, itong mga kasalanan nitong mga kapatid, sabi niyong kasalanan, ay lang, ang mali lang nila, yung sa mga sulat nila, there are some expressions na hindi tama.
So this is
Ayan.
the problem ang aking nakikita, Brother Peter, that when we judge, pag wala tayong basis sa judgment, at saka yung idea lang ang i-judge, yung sariling pananaw lang ang i-judge, there is always what we call misjudgment. Kasi kung binase sana nila doon sa absolute, which is the writings of God, the writings of the Bible and also the spirit of prophecy, they will not be misguided and they will not
Pero
misjudge.
tignan mo kasi ang senaryo. Bakit ganito ang nangyari? Kasi sila nga doon, parehas sila
Thank
doon.
you.
Ang ginawa nila, parehas. So kung i-judge nila yung ito na mali, parang sila din ang ginudge nila yung kanilang
Yung sarili
sarili na
na
mali.
mali.
So kung anong hatol nila sa kanila, babalik sa kanila yon. Yung corrupt na judge. Yung corrupt, paano niya hatulan yung corrupt? Hindi niya, mahirap yung hatulan yung judge. Kaya nga, may nakapagsabi na politician sa atin, yung mga complaints sa vote buying, wala daw nag-prosper na mga kaso ng vote buying. Kasi that is a common practice ng mga politician and even judges are doing the same thing. Kaya how paano na ipo-prosper yun? Talagang
So the same what happened doon
yung
sa
dito,
decision ng
ganon
General
sila,
Conference.
dineclare niya na parehas lang sila. Kaya kung sasabihin nila ngayon na sila'y nagkamali, they are sinesentensyahan ang sarili niya. Kaya maintindihan natin yung senaryo na ganyan. Pero kung siguro kung hindi sila lang na doon, hindi sila nag-relax, nagkasala doon, tumayo sila katotohanan, malamang na they could
do the
rightly judge the case dito. Pero dito, ito ang tandaan natin, ang sabi ng Panginoon. Pag nagkasala ka, yung lumabag ka talaga sa kautusan ng Diyos, anong sabi dito? Whenever men chose their own way, Mount of Blessing, page 51. Whenever men chose their own way, they placed themselves in controversy with God. they will have no place in the kingdom of heaven.
Wow.
For they are at war with the very principles of heaven. Sa langit kasi walang patayan eh. Hindi ka pwedeng papatay doon. Hindi pwede yun. In disregarding the will of God, they are placing themselves on the side of Satan, the enemy of God and man. Oh. So, kapag pinili mo ngayon, ginamit mo yung liberty of conscience mo, na lumabag ka sa kautusan ng Panginoon, you are placing yourself on the side of Satan.
Wow.
And the enemy of God and man. Ang naging kalaban mo ngayon,
Hindi yung government, kundi yung
hindi
Diyos.
yung government, kundi ang Diyos.
Wow.
Yun ang ano doon. Yun ang dapat tandaan natin, mga kapatid. So, kayo po ang ano doon, humusga. Para kay Daniel at saka yung mga committee nila, tama, faithful itong mga lumabag. Ang unfaithful yung mga sumunod, yung hindi sumama sa gira. Pero para sa Diyos, kung dito natin pagbabasehan, sino man na lumabag sa kautusan ng Panginoon, anong sabi daw? They will have they place themselves in controversy with God. And kung hindi sila magsisisi, they will have no place in the kingdom of heaven. Ayan po. So, ayan ang tungkol doon sa sa sagot. So, sa first question, sa first question, kung tama ba, dineclare nila na yung attitude nila sa kanila, magaan lang yung kasalanan nila. Kasi yung dokumento, yung wrong expressions lang yung ginamit nila, that's it. Pero when it comes to their motive and their actions,
Wala.
tama daw. There is no offense. Ayan. So, sagot nila dito naman sa ikalawang tanong. What proof can be shown us that we have not taken the biblical course towards the brethren? Ayan. Sumunod ba sa proseso itong mga disfellowship sa pakikipag-negotiate ng kaayusan? Okay, inexplain ni A.G. Daniels yung procedure. Sabi niya, ganito ang sistema kung may problem kayo. Okay. Let's say start with the members. Some members of the church may be somewhat offended about the officers or president. So, what should they do? First, sabi na, bring your difficulties before the field committee. Ayan, first step. And now, let the brethren of the field committee know your matter. Okay. Now, supposing that this is done and the members of the church concerned are not satisfied with the decision made, then they can go to the union. Tama naman yun.
Tama yung proseso.
Anong proseso? Supposing they are not satisfied with the decision of the union, then they can go to the general conference. So, pag yung ganito, pagka yung hindi na-solve yung problema sa local church, doon mo dadalhin sa field. Pag hindi na-solve doon mo sa mission.
Mission.
Yun. Pag hindi na-solve din sa yun, hindi ka kontento,
GC.
dalhin mo sa GC.
General Conference.
Yan ang sabi niya na
Which is the right procedure.
Which is the right procedure. Tama naman talaga yun eh. And then, pagka hindi sila satisfied doon, sabi niya, supposing that the church refuses to accept the decision of the general conference, it has a right, may karapatan siya to do this. Then those in question must go, but they must withdraw in a Christian manner and leave us alone.
Okay. So, you can leave the church.
You can just leave the church. Okay. Pero tandaan natin, in this case, hindi ganito ang nangyari.
Disfellowship na talaga.
They were disfellowship talaga. Ayan po ang tandaan natin, mga kapatid. So, sila po ay tiniwalag sa local churches, hindi po sila kusang umalis. And number one, sinunod po nila yung proseso kasi gumawa nga sila ng appeal. At hindi lang pala minsan, pinaliwanag dito sa document, sa protocol, sa harapan ni Daniels, pinaliwanag ni Spunk Nobel, na ginawa nila yung tungkulin nila, ilang ulit pala silang nakipag-usap sa leadership.
Pero hindi sila
pinapansin. Ayan. Hindi lang doon sa field at saka sa union. Kaya ngayon, nakaabot na sila dito sa General Conference level. Although, sasabihin natin na parang hindi na sunod yung proseso, kasi walang hearing doon sa field, walang hearing sa union. Pero hindi silang may kasalanan.
Kasi hindi man
sila in-entertain. Pero nakipag-usap verbally, may sulat pa. Ayan, na nag-a-appeal. Ayan. Yan po ang dapat tandaan para at least meron naman kayong
Right idea.
Right idea kung ano talagang
Sa
nangyari.
picture ng elepante.
Kaya nakarating na sila sa GC level, GC committee. Ito 1920 na, ito nandun na sa harapan na nga, magkabilang panig, nandito yung 4 na member ng GC committee. Ayan. So sa layunin na sana ay mabigyan ng solusyon, pero unfortunately, hindi nga nabigyan ng tamang solusyon.
On the third question, anong nangyari?
Okay, dito naman sa third na question. What position does the General Conference of the American Brethren take towards the testimony of Sister White? Maganda ang sagot dito ni Daniels. Dito muna sa health reform. Sabi ni Daniels sa 31, we believe in proper medical health reform as we have always done, and I believe that we shall make it a still stronger right arm than ever before. And we shall continue in this, and when we have carried out this program, so we shall be a greater blessing to the people than before. Maganda ang position ng ini-endorse nila yon.
But,
as far as the wordings is concerned dito, hindi natin alam in practice kasi usually magkaiba kasi yung nakita na natin na they are in theory, they are non-combatant. But in practice, they are combatant. Dito in theory, they support 100% yung health reform. But we don't know in practice.
But I remember I was reading about the pamphlets na sinabi ni Sister White na mag-pledge sana sila na kasi sabi ni Sister White, backslidden in health reform. Nagsulat kay A.J. Daniels na mag-pledge sila, na bumalik sila. Pero sabi ni A.J. Daniels, no.
Si Daniels mismo ang tumanggi doon sa pledge.
So there's another contradiction within himself about saying na nag-support siya, but at the same time, ayaw niya mag-pledge sa health reform.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the case bakit nagkaroon ng misjudgment in that time.
Tama. Yun ang isa. Okay, number 2. Sabi niya, tungkol naman kay Sister White, kung inspired ba o hindi, sabi niya, I am glad to be able to say that the General Conference has not changed its position toward the testimonies in the last 50 years.
Wow.
Hindi daw nagbago ang position ng church in the last 50 years. Kung ano ang position noon tungkol sa Spirit of Prophecy hanggang sa time na yun is okay. If we have made any expression in the sessions, nevertheless, we take the same standpoint as formerly. But I will also say that individual persons may have changed their views about it.
Wow.
Okay, ito pasaring ito kasi alam nila kasi na alam naman niya na si Conradi is medyo kontra sa Spirit of Prophecy. Kaya nagbigay siya ng explanation nga, although ganito ang position ng church, pero sinabi niya na may mga individual persons who have changed their views. Alam ng mga kapatid na itong si Conradi yun ang tinutukoy. Kasi sila nga, yun yung nasa isip nila. Kaya tinatanong nila, kasi itong leader ng Europe, ayaw kay Sister White.
Another contradiction is this, Brother Peter. Kasi sinabi nila, hindi sila nag-change ng standpoint. But the standpoint ng Testimonies Volume 1 is, bakit hindi nila in-accept na hindi sasali sa gera? So, somewhat another contradiction of theory and of practice.
Kaya kung minsan, hindi lang natin basta kung ano yung sinabi ng isang tao.
Yun ay kukunin, tatanggapin agad.
Tatanggapin naman, wholesale na tatanggapin mo. Kilatisin mo din kung siya ba ay totoo ba yung sinasabi niya o hindi. Yan. Kasi marami kasi ang nadadaya doon sa salita. Kagaya ng mga manliligaw, ang daming sabi, I love you.
Sabing I love you, pero hindi naman nakikita yung tunay na pag-ibig.
Hindi naman totoo. Ang meaning daw sa karamihan, sabi yung I love you, magandang pakinggan, pero ang meaning doon sa ilalim ng puso ng maraming mga nagbibigkas noon is I lust after you. Ayun na sabi niya. I lust after you.
Okay, so we've answered already these four na ipinakita na natin kung ano yung sagot ng A.J. Daniels, in which is not really somewhat like maganda natin basahin, but is not really, hindi nila tinayuan kung ano yung sinabi nila.
Ngayon gusto kong linawin ito yung kanina ba tungkol doon sa hanging na issue kanina na nabanggit natin na yung bang kaisipan na yung bang testimonies ni Sister White ay para lang sa mga member sa loob o para doon sa labas. Di ba yan yung tinatanong nila? Kasi ngayon sa social media yan ang yun ang dinidiin ng mga Seventh-day Adventists. Tignan niyo ang basahin natin resolution ng General Conference noong 1879. Pwede bang dalhin sa labas yung sulat ni Sister White?
Tingnan natin.
Ayan. Okay. First resolution para sa members. Resolve that we urge upon our ministers and tract societies the importance of making earnest efforts to extend the circulation of the volume of the spirit of prophecy and the testimonies to the church among our own people. Till this shall be in every family of believers.
So dapat lahat
dapat nandun talaga yan.
Lahat ng mga lahat ng member ng church should have known the position of kung ano yung place ng testimony sa loob ng church.
Kaya dapat nga it should be placed in every
household
ng mga members. Paano yung tagalabas? Bawal ba doon sa kanila? Okay, basahin natin. Next resolution. Resolved that we recommend the Publishing Association to issue in attractive form such of her writings as would be of general interest to the reading public who are not of our faith. Ayan to be placed in public libraries, reading rooms, on shipboard and others, by canvassers and tracts and missionary workers, where they as well as our other standard works may be accessible to the people. So hindi lang para sa loob, talagang para sa labas din yan.
So para sa labas, and then makita din natin sa reality, why do we have these canvassers and colporteurs? And which is, sabi ni Sister White, should be selling Desire of Ages, Great Controversy, The Mount of Blessings, in which is writings ni Sister White should
writing talaga yan.
Kaya mali yung sinasabi na hindi pwedeng i-apply dun sa kanila. No. It should be given and it should be taught para sa mga tao.
Para sa mga tao yan.
Even the unbelievers.
At saka sabi pa dito, yung para doon sa labas, pagandahin yung cover. Hindi baling yung para sa atin, hindi bali. Pero yung para sa labas, pagandahin mo para maging attractive. Yan, maganda. Ayan po. So, sagot naman ng GC doon sa ika-4 na tanong. Is our message according to Revelation 14:6-12 national or international? Okay. Kasi may idea noon kasi na parang sinasabi na
national lang.
National lang, hindi pang international daw yung message. So kagaya ng yung halimbawa health reform. Sabi kasi nila na depende daw sa lugar.
So that means hindi siya international.
So mag-vegetarian ka doon sa lugar na
pwedeng mag-vegetarian.
Oo. Pero hindi ka pwedeng mag-vegetarian doon sa iba. Sa ibang lugar. Kaya ito ang ang dahilan kung bakit may tanong na ganito. Ibig bang sabihin hindi pang international itong ating mensahe? Kasi right arm of the third angel's message. Itong sinabi dito na sa Revelation 14:6-12, three angels message man yon, pang international o hindi?
Saan ang sagot nila, Brother Peter?
Pero maganda ang sagot dito. If we believe anything, then we believe that it is a worldwide message for all nations and languages. Kaya sana ito malinawan ang mga Seventh-day Adventists ngayon na nag-iisip na hindi international yung na yon message. Depende daw
yung
kung saan ka nakatira.
Time and place must be considered. I think the context is misapplied.
Misapplied yun. Okay. Ngayon, so yun po yung nangyari. So titingnan po natin ang final conclusion ni Daniels, pagkatapos nun, inignore niya, hindi na sinagot yung 9 questions ng iba. Sinagot niya itong 4 and then nagkaroon siya ng conclusion.
So what was the conclusion?
Nirelate niya yung karanasan niya kay Sister White. Maalala niya na may ganito daw na sinabi ni Sister White sa kanya. Sabi niya, Sister White told this to me in a time of crisis and great difficulty and said, Brother Daniels, sound an encouraging note everywhere in the whole world. We will enter the harbor.
Wow, malapit na.
Napakaganda daw yung encouragement ni Sister White sa kanya. Malapit na tayo doon sa harbor, makakapasok talaga tayo. At then sabi niya dito, this is our position in the whole world. We should all humble our hearts before God and try to do the right and act and to act right. Do the right and act right. Yan. Napakaganda kung ginawa sana ni Daniels ito doon sa negotiation meeting na yon. Siguradong
walang separation
na nangyari. Naibalik na sana yon. That is the right thing na ibalik niya. Hindi naman niya ginawa. At saka kung tinayuan niya lang sana yung original principle, madali niyang nakuha ito. Kaya lang hindi nagkaroon ng pagsasama kasi tinayuan niya yung bagong position na hindi tama. Eh yung nasa kabila doon sa old position, etong new position, hindi mo pwedeng pagsamahin kasi magkakontra ito eh. O, yun lang ang dahil. Pero kung sana tumayo sa tama, he should have
They should have
brought
entered.
back.
They should
Ayan.
have entered the harbor na sana.
Ayan. And sabi dito, we should never be ashamed to confess where we have erred. Kung ginawa sana din ni Daniels itong, kung minsan kasi madaling mag-advise sa ibang tao, pero kung i-apply mo sa sarili mo,
Mahirap gawin.
hirap mong gawin yan. Pero kaya yan. Pwedeng gawin yan. At dapat gawin natin yun. Pero hindi niya ginawa eh. Nagdidiman siya na i-acknowledge sana daw ng mga na-disvelops yung mali nila at bumalik. Pero hindi niya man tinatouch yung kamalian niya. At pinanindigan niya na yung mali niya tama. Ayun ang problema. But brethren, it is the greatest of all mistake to separate ourselves from the work, to organize a new movement, and to try to carry through such a thing. So yun ang pinabinigyan niya ng halaga na pinakamalaking mali daw ng Madis Fellowship. Kasi, nung Madis Fellowship sila, sana, sabi ng iba, sana hindi sila nag-organize ng bagong organisasyon. Yun daw ang pinakamabigat na mali nila kasi nag-organize sila. Dapat, kung nanatili lang sila na scattered, edi maganda yun, wala silang kasalanan. Yan ang pinupunto niya. So, yung cause, pero bakit nga sila nag-organize? Kasi natiwalag sila. Ayun ang pinakapunto doon. Tapos, sila pa ang inakusahan na sila daw ang umalis, tapos nag-organize ng bago. Hindi niya na-reflect ba sa kanyang sarili na hindi nga sila umalis, sila'y pinaalis. Ayun, yun ang dapat sana. And then, sabi pa ni Daniels, Brother Spicer's last word to me in America. Kasi hindi sumama si Spicer.
Yeah.
Sabi niya ito, you will be seeing the brethren in Germany, then bring them back. Ibalik mo sila. Pero maganda yung sana bring them back. Kaya lang, nagbigay siya kay Daniel ng hindi magandang kondisyon. Sabi dito, nevertheless, he that is Spicers stands firm in relation to the movement, and while he admits that technical mistakes, that is to say, mistakes in handling of our principles, have been committed on the part of the brethren, yung nasa administration, European leaders. Technical mistakes lang yung kanilang mali. Kasi yung sa pagsusulat nila, hindi sila nag-ingat doon sa wordings ng sulat. Kaya nakapagbigay sila ng wordings na expressions na hindi appropriate. Yan. Pero yung action nila ay tama naman daw. Yan. Technical mistake lang ang daw kasalanan nila. Pero itong mga ang tawag dito, mga Nadis Fellowship, fundamental mistake ang kanilang kasalanan. Sabi dito, that is to say, mistakes in handling our principles have been committed on the part of the brethren. Yet, I firmly believe that the brethren of the opposition side have committed fundamental mistakes. That is to say, offenses against the principles of faith. So, tignan mo yung doon sa basic issue doon sa paglabag sa kautusan ng Diyos, pinisbak nila, sineset aside nila yon, inignore nila yon. Okay.
Lang yung
tapos nagkamali lang daw itong leaders, technical mistakes kasi doon, yung pagsulat lang tinignan nila, hindi yung action na talagang violation. Okay. Etong mga hindi sumali sa gira, they should have been commended. Pero hindi, inignore. Ang ini-highlight na doon kasi sila ay nag-organize ng separate movement. Yun ang ginawa nila ng malaki na issue.
And then it is called a fundamental
daw yun na mistake, offense against the principle. Kasi ang pinupunto nila parang sa Amerika daw, kahit na they have differences of opinion about military service, pero wala naman daw nag-organize ng separate group Dapat dito din daw sa Europe, ganun din daw sana ang nangyari. Yun ang kanilang paratang. So, pero doon kasi sa Amerika, kaya hindi nangyari ang ganun, kasi hindi sila nag-disfellowship
Pero dito na disfellowship, kaya napilitan ngayon sila. Yon ang pagkakaiba. Pero kung check na kung na-disfellowship sila doon, pag dinisfellowship mo ang 20 people, yung 20 people na yun mag-reorganize sa kanilang sarili. Pero walang na-disfellowship doon, kaya siyempre walang reorganization ng bag. Dito sa Europe, hindi lang 20 people. Oh. Nung 1915, nung sumulat sila ng appear, they already are 1,000 members. Oh. Doon lang sa
Sa Europe.
Hindi, Germany lang.
Hindi pa kasali yung ibang parts ng
yung
Europe.
ibang doon. Yun ang dapat natin na tignan doon.
So upon looking all these evidences, because we don't have much time, Brother Peter, we made it clear na ang SDA, ang ISDARM ang nagbigay ng effort for unification by
Tama,
sending their representatives out there. And also napakita natin that yung prinsipyo was still stood by, and nakita natin that paano pinasify ni Elder Daniels yung mga mali na mga prinsipyo ng mga majority. And also in the conclusion of the message, sinabi pa niya na yung quoting Brother Spicer na ang mga majority is technical error, but the minority was fundamental errors, in which is nakita natin in our past video na talagang hindi lang technical errors, but in fact the majority was in the fundamental errors by departing from that principle. So do you want to leave with the viewers before we are going to end this study?
At this time, dapat na gamitin nila yon. Dito nila gagamitin yung liberty of conscience. Ibig sabihin, mag-decide kayo based doon sa inyong sariling isip. Titingnan ninyo, huwag basta kung ano ang sabi ni pastor,
yun ang susundin.
Ayun ang susundin.
No.
Yung advice nila sa atin, i-advise din natin sa kanila. Hindi sasabihin, hindi kung ano yung sabi ni pastor, paniwalaan. Magtimbang kayo ngayon, titignan ninyo, buksan ninyo ang isip ninyo, napakinggan nyo naman yung sabi ng pastor ninyo, pakinggan nyo naman ito, at saka ibibigay namin, ready kami na ibigay lahat ng mga dokumento kung gusto nyo na malaman pang mas malalim, wala kaming itinatago. Gamitin nyo yan, fundamental right nyo yan. You have to use your liberty of conscience to study by yourself and decide based on your conscientious objection. Kung ano ang tama, yun ang susundin nyo. Hindi kung ano yung sabi ng pastor, doon yung susundin.
So I would like to leave this message to our viewers that we have already put up the picture, the whole picture of the elephant, as what we said from the beginning. Now, this is not just studying kasi sinasabi nila we are just pointing a part of it, but we show all the evidences. And I will encourage you by the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to take the right stand. Don't just depend on what man says so, but what is the plain, thus saith the Lord. At nawa po sa aming presentation ay naliwanagan kayo kung alin yung tunay na tayo ng Seventh-day Adventist, what is the right place to take in, and what is the truth that should be upheld in our time, especially we are facing the coming crisis. May the Lord bless us and keep us, and may you decide what is the right thing to do and stand for it and walk in it and live the life and share it to others. And then, before we are going to close, let me ask with you again to pray with us in this afternoon. Mapagpala at mahabagin po naming Diyos na sa kaitaasan po kayo ng mga langit. Sa hapon pong ito kami po nagpapasalamat sa panahon ninyo binigay sa amin na mapag-aralan ang mga nangyari sa panahon ng unification noong 1920 hanggang 1922. Nawa po maliwanagan ang aming mga tagapanood at especially yung mga kapatid na siyang napalayo or na-deceive sa pamamagitan ng mga turo na hindi naman angkop o hindi na misapplied na mga dokumento. Nawa po ay bigyan sila ng kaalaman at i-touch ang kanilang puso na maintindihan nila ito at maisakabuhayan. At patawarin lamang po kami kung saan kami nagkamali at nagkasala. Ito po ang aming samot hiling kasama ng kapatawaran ng aming mga kasalanan sa pangalan ni Jesus na aming tagapagligtas. Amen.